Hi guys, I'm Phil Town from Rule Number One Investing. Today I want to tell you how to generate passive income. So you guys, let's talk for a second about passive income. It's one of those words that people use and kick around a lot, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning on some kind of infomercial. Let's talk about what that really is and why people like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett are sitting on billions of dollars and they only have 24 hours a day to work like the rest of us. How in the world do they generate all of that capital? In fact, the most wealthy people in the world, most of the people who are in the Fortune 400 in the US, certainly the wealthiest people in the world, like Warren Buffett and Gates, they didn't make their money from doing work the way we normally think about it. The way we think about it, if you're going to work down to be a waitress at a coffee shop, or if you're working down at McDonald's, or if you're working at Walmart, that's, putting in work and getting paid cash for the hours that you're putting in. Hopefully your work is contributing to the profits of this company enough that they want to keep paying you for it and they don't replace you with a robot, which is probably out there in the future for an awful lot of people. So we got to talk more about a different kind of income, the kind of income very, very wealthy people rely on to continue to build wealth through the generations. And this is what we call passive income. It's not income that you do something for. It's income that comes to you a little bit more like planting a seed in the ground. You do the work to plant the seed, and then it just starts to grow in an exponential kind of way. I guess my favorite way of thinking about passive income is what I experience as an investor. And they call it compounding rates of return, or compound annual growth rate. Sometimes you'll see the word CAGR, which is a Wall Street favorite for compound annual growth rate. And the key word here is compound. That is a growth rate where the money that you've put into the ground, that seed you planted, is actually growing money on the money. It's growing money on the money, like a seed starts to develop more seeds, which then go in the ground, which develop into more trees, which develop more seeds. It's a compounding power that is a startling way of generating an enormous passive income. And that's where Gates and Buffett and all these guys and me get most of our income. It's from not doing something, it's from doing something originally, and then that grows and grows and grows. And frankly, the best way to do that in the world, the way that's created more wealth for more people than any other way, more even than real estate, is investing in wonderful businesses that continue to grow out of their own resources over time. I mean, consider, for example, investing in Apple Computer right now. You go out and earn the money and you put this money into your investment portfolio, and so that's the work, right? And then you invest it wisely in a company, let's say like Apple. And I can use Apple right now because this is a company that Warren Buffett has just bought, I think ballpark 242 million shares of. So let's just say the greatest investor in the world knows something about what he's doing and that he finds Apple to be a great company. And we just follow him into it. Let's just say that we might do that. So now we own Apple Computer. Now what's going on is that Apple, the people who run Apple, are going to use our capital, in effect, and they are going to grow it by creating a rate of return. We call this the return on equity. So the money that's sitting in the company, which is owned by all of us, the shareholders, that money is equity. And Apple, using their genius with their huge moat of a huge ecosystem that I love. There's a Mac right here, right? Apple Watch and an iPhone, all of these things just work together, which is their moat. That Apple, with this giant moat, this durable competitive advantage, is growing my money for me, and I'm not actively involved. In fact, I'm very not involved at all. They don't even want me to be involved in growing my money. They're growing my money at over 20% a year, every single year. Over 20%, over 20%, over 20%. This is called return on equity or return on invested capital. And this is the magic of compounding rates of return, is that they grow it at 20%, but the money stays in there. And then they grow the new pile at 20%. And now the new pile, which is bigger, is growing at 20%, and the new pile is growing at 20%. And here's the amazing thing. At that 20% return on equity rate of growth, In just 3.5 years, that whole pile has doubled. And now they're growing 20% a year on double the pile, of which mine has doubled as well. So this is passive income, and it grows and grows and grows if it's involved or if it's invested in a wonderful business. That's kind of by definition what a wonderful business is all about. It's why we spend time learning how to pick a wonderful business, because wonderful businesses are by definition a business that is able to grow your money, compound your money completely passively for you at very high rates of return for very, very long periods of time. And they can do that because they are in a durable competitive advantage to all the other companies in their industry, and because they're run by people that have integrity and talent and can continue to build out on that big moat. So finding a wonderful business like Apple, not so hard. There's, a lot of wonderful businesses in the stock market. The next thing we need to do is just buy it at a really great price. The reason we try to buy things at a really great price is to accelerate our passive income rates of return. So think about it. If this business is worth $200 and we can buy it at $100 because some event has happened, and then within a year it immediately springs back up to its real value, back to $200, we've just added a shot of serious adrenaline to our growth rate of our passive income. So this compound rate of return begins to explode for us, to go massively faster than even the growth rate that the company can provide. So for example, if I can buy Apple Computer for $100 and within a year it goes up to $200, as it has in the last year, and I can buy it so cheap originally, right? And then Apple is growing this $200 at 20% a year, or some high rate of growth, probably not going to be quite that high, but let's say at 20% a year. Imagine what would be going on if I bought it for $100, right? I mean, think about it. If it was able to do 20% a year on the $200 stock price, let's just say, then that would be $40, right? 20% at 200. But I bought it for $100. So I'm getting $40 on 100, which is 40%. So the combination of buying a really wonderful business when it is on sale provides us with a passive income explosion. And this is how we can see ourselves getting to maybe not Buffett's status of wealth, but certainly my level of wealth anyway. Is something you guys can all achieve in a relatively short amount of time by just finding wonderful businesses at attractive prices. This is the most perfect kind of passive income that you could ever have. Now, I'd love to hear from you guys. How do you generate a passive income? Let's hear. So leave a comment below with your answer and I'll be sure to follow up with you. So thanks for watching, guys. Now go play. If you enjoyed this video and you feel it was valuable in teaching you more about how to generate passive income, hit the like button and please share this video with your friends. And if you want more investing content, subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.